Hello everybody, welcome back to another online music practice. My name is Efren Luna with the Cultural Alliance of Long Beach and with Art, Music and Culture. So as you probably know, or if you don't know, I've been doing this music guided practice. I have to specify that I'm not a professional musician. I'm a student myself of the music. I've been learning for about 2 years here and there, but I do have a little bit of knowledge, at least the beginning part, maybe a little bit of intermediate. This is probably our second month doing this. So I do a guided practice. I usually start off with playing a little music or a little exercise while I share the link. Today I didn't have my other computer, so I'm just going to get right straight to it. So some of you guys may be watching or may watch this later as a revisit, because these videos are live streamed, but they stay on so you can revisit them. So if you're intermediate to advanced musician, you may know what I'm teaching you, or you may even want to research other methods, tutorials, books, hire a teacher, things like that. So I'm doing this for two things. One, for myself to keep the practice going, and the other is to share the knowledge that I know. So the more I know, the more I'll be able to teach you. All right, so I'm going to do a couple of exercises with the guitar. Guitar chord progressions, and I did this before on the other videos, but I'm going to go through this real quick. If you're playing guitar, your fingers need to be, your nails on the left hand need to be really short. You're not going to make the right sound, and you're going to damage your guitar. All right, so I'm going to do a chord progression of G, E minor, A minor, and D7. I have them here. You can probably just see the G, the E minor, the A minor is that one right there, and then the D7. You can't really see it here. I don't have a camera person today, so just bear with me. So this is the G. This is the diagram for the G. You can see there's 3 dots right here that represents the strings being pressed on each fret. So we have a numbering system for the guitar fingers. For the left hand, this is finger 1, finger 2, finger 3, and finger 4. So we're going to put finger 1 on fret 2 of the 5th string. There's 3 numbering systems, and I'm not going to go through them because I did a prior video about that. But these sections right here are frets, and they have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth. The fingers have a numbering system 1, 2, 3, 4, and also the strings have a numbering system 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's important to know the numbering system. Okay, so finger 1, 5th string, 2nd fret. Finger 2, 6th string, 3rd fret. Finger 3, 1st string, 3rd fret. And you have to make sure that the strings that you're not touching, this one, and that one, are clear. Completely clear. You're not touching them. You're only touching the ones with the dot. And then you strum all the strings down. Now this hand, the strumming hand, you may have your fingers long if you like, or you may also use a guitar pick. I think I may have one right here. You can use a guitar pick, just holding it like this. Not like this, but like this. So this is how that would sound. All right, so I'm going to do 4 strums of each chord that I mentioned. 1, 2, 3, 4, switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, So as you heard me counting for the strumming, I was doing quarter notes in the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I was doing whole notes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's quarter notes, whole notes. Half notes are 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that's a little bit of the quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes. There's eighth notes. I'm not going to get into that, but just wanted to explain that. So this is the guitar chord progression that I was doing. G, E minor, A minor, and D7. I have prior videos about this one, but I'm going to make it short. I want to talk about other things, hopefully get to the violin. So we have G, E minor, A minor, D7. All right, so you can probably see the G and the E minor. I have A minor and D7 on this chart, but you can probably see that chart up there. That's different chord progression. So I'm gonna do that next. That starts with C, and it goes to A minor, D minor, G7. All right, so we strum the C. 1, 2. Okay, I have to restart again. We have the diagram there. Finger 1, second string, first fret. Finger 2, fourth string, second fret. Finger 3, third fret, fifth string. So this one right here is the C note. That's middle C. Other videos we talked about the scale of G scale, G scale, C scale, and we talked about this is the middle C right here. 1, 2, 3, and the fifth string right here. This is middle C. So that's how you make the top note, the fifth string, third fret, third finger. That's middle C. When you strum the C chord, you only strum from that note down. Don't strum the top string. That one is not even part of this. That's why there's a little X on the diagram over there. All right, so that would sound like this. Right? So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch to A minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so A minor is similar to an A. An A is this 3 fingers right here, 1, 2, and 3 finger on the second fret, and you start on second string, third string, fourth string. That's the A major, right? And one thing you want to know is for each chord, the name of the chord is usually the first note. So this is an open A string right here, the fifth string, and that's going to stay open while we press down on these other 3 strings, right? That's an A. But by pressing this other strings, we create different notes, and we are actually making an A minor, right? But in this case, the last note, we're gonna move it one fret back. So we rearrange our fingers. We keep these 2 together, move them up, right? And this one covers the bottom one or the second string, but we move it back to the first fret. So the diagram's up there. I just wanted to kind of briefly explain that a little bit. And very important, we strum from the A down. You notice there's an X on the top string. Similar to the other note, we strum down. Right? That's A minor. What's helping me keep clear, like every note clear is I have very short nails on this hand, right? And I'm curving my hand down like this, where I have enough space down here, right? I'm not overlapping any strings. I'm only pressing the ones I need to press. So you strum down. There you go. Very important to strum from the proper note or string down. 3, 4, D minor. You strum from the open D, which is the fourth string. So So in this D minor, you're not gonna strum string 6 and 5th. You're gonna skip those. And the D is open, you can see there, and then you're pressing down on the other 3 strings. So it sounds like this. And finally, G7. G7 is this one right here. Now the G7, you're pressing on the 3rd fret, which is the G note, right? And then on the 5th string, 2nd fret, the 2nd finger, right here. And then 1st finger, 1st fret, 1st string. I know this is maybe sound confusing, but it's important to know the numbering systems, right? So this is our G7. All right, so now I'm gonna do this different guitar chord progression. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to C. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. D minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. G7. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I'm gonna do it without shouting out the chords, but that's the sequence. C, A minor, D minor, and G7. Alright guys, so you can see I'm actually struggling a little bit here. So this sequence I need more practice on than the prior sequence, but that's the purpose of this video, to practice along while I guide you. Unfortunately, I can't answer your live questions. You can put them there. I'll address them on the next video. So this is G, E minor, A minor, D7. So that's the prior progression. That progression I know a little better. And then this next progression is on the top chart: C major, A minor, D minor, and G7. One more time. C major, A minor, D7. Excuse me, this is D minor, my bad. D minor, and then G7. All right, so we do 4 of each now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, guys. So if you didn't really get this, there's a video 1 and 2. They actually go in detail about this. So I recommend go to my video library or Cultural Alliance of Long Beach, where it says videos. We have a playlist of online music guided practice. Go to video 1 and video 2, and you'll learn these 2 exercises. So another thing you want to do, if you're new, like I said, your nails got to be really trim. Make sure your guitar's in tune. There's electrical or apps you can use to tune your guitar. There's tuners you can buy. If you don't have the money, you can download one on your phone. It's free and it works just fine. The better you get, you'll be able to tune in by ear by pressing the piano key. And we'll get to that in another video in the future. But for now, you take advantage of technology. Download the app to tune your guitars. So these guitars, I checked them for for tuning before the video. All right, so So the other exercise you want to do if you're new, you want to exercise your fingers, right? Because you need to build muscles, right? So you go open, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then bring it back. And this doesn't sound like anything. This is there's a name for this type of scale. I just don't have the technical name for it. But the purpose of this exercise is to build the strength. So first finger, first fret, first. Let's start with the top string, right, which is the 6th string. So first finger, all right. First is open, 1, and then press down on the first fret with the first finger, and strum. Next finger, next string, next fret, and you keep doing that. And then you come back. The pinky, you don't do it again. You just lift it up. And you finish with the open. So you do the reverse. You go open, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, open, right? And you're gonna do that, and you're gonna keep going down. That's gonna sound boring. It doesn't sound like any melody. It doesn't sound like any assignment, but that one will build your muscles, right? That one will build your muscles, will build your callus. Your fingers are probably gonna hurt right here if you're new. But with time they're gonna get stronger. So let me try to walk you down and see, 6th string. Okay, 5th string, open. Okay, 4th string. 3rd string. 2nd string. And 1st string. All right, and you can actually bring it back and reverse your way back up. That'll build your strength, right? Another thing I want to talk about a little bit, then this is one I'm pretty, I guess, a little better with the with the G scale. And this shape is I think there's like 7 different shapes of doing scales on guitar, right? Maybe there's probably more, but I want to say I seen this diagram with 4, actually with 7 shapes, and this is the first shape, right? So we start with G. This is the G note right here, top string. A lot of guitars have a dot right here on the 3rd fret, on the 5th fret, 7th fret, 9th fret, and then 12th fret, right? So the dots are for your reference, so you can kind of like quickly find your place on the guitar. So with the middle finger, which is the 2nd finger, you're gonna place that on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, right at the top, and that's the G note, right? You're gonna skip a space, so that's G, A, right? So it's G, A. Another thing I didn't mention is with the pick, you want to build a habit of one strum from strum down and then strum up. So you're doing this, right? So you're doing down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and that technique is going to be really helpful for when you're when you're playing, like to help you with speed and things like that. So it's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So use that strum down, the same string, and down, up. That'll help you. So getting back to the, so I'm gonna do that pattern of strumming, down, up, and down, up, right? You can use your fingers. I actually have longer nails. I just trimmed them a little bit, but long nails are good too. You can do individual, which is with one nail. I'll talk about finger picking later on if time permits. But we got G down, A up, the same string, so it's right, G, A, and then you go one string down, but one fret down as well. So you go to fret 2 of the 5th string, first finger, right? So you go G, A with the pinky, and then the index finger, one string down, B, C, D, E, sharp. This is an F sharp because of the G scale. And I didn't talk about the circle of fifths. I'll probably do a video once I'm a little more proficient with that. So let me start again. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's 8 notes. That's a scale right there. So we got G, excuse me, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. And you can bring it down. Okay, so that's the G scale. I'm gonna do it, but once I get to the G down here, I'm gonna continue, and I'm gonna end up on this G right here, actually, on the bottom, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna end up right here. Remember the G chord? We have a G on the top and a G on the bottom. That's your G chord, right? Look, G, G. So with this scale, I'm gonna start here and I'm gonna end down here. Watch this. I told you I was gonna end right here. I started here and I ended here. Watch this again. So this is a G scale, right? That's 2 octaves. That means G. There's 3 G's in this sequence. You end, and you can bring it down. I'm gonna bring it down in a little bit. Well, watch this. All right, I got a little messed up coming back, or bringing it back down. But let me try again. All right, here we go. One more time. All right, a little better, not perfect, but better. And the idea is to practice, right? So that's a G scale. There's a different shape to do this on second position, and I'm actually learning that. And instead of starting on this G, you actually start on this G right here. All right. So you know how you do this. And this is the next G. So this time you're going to start there with the middle finger, right? Let me just do it and see what you think. Okay, so what I've been practicing it from the top. So that's why I got a little confused here, but let's do that one, right? So if we start from the top, we're not really starting from G, we're starting from A. So to make it sound good, we'll throw in that A, right? Well, actually G, and then what's this? G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You heard it? That's 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a G scale, right? But this shape, I shouldn't be using this one, right? So I'm gonna start from the A and then just kind of emphasize the G. So it's like this: A, B, C, D, E, F, second shape. I just didn't want to end on the A, so I did the G. Okay, so I should have ended on the G. I'll do that again, okay? So that was kind of like a warm-up because I kind of forgot, to be honest, but I remembered it. I'll try to throw in a diagram of this one next time. This second shape I'm working on, and I want to share with you guys the second position. So you start with that G, this G right here. But again, and all these exercises, what I'm finding out is that they're helping me learn the name of the notes. You know, some people say, how do you learn the notes? I mean, it's not like the timetables where you just kind of study them in your mind. You do that, but you do want to do it while practicing. That's probably the best way, because it's going to help both your memory and your practice, right? So that's what I'm doing, or you know, I'm trying to do here. So I have G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Alright, so it's not perfect, but you can hear the scale, and that shape right there is different, very different than this one. This is first position. Excuse me. Right? But if you start here, you're gonna have to do it different. You see, but so I'm learning the second shape. So once I feel pretty, you know, once I know at least as much as I know on the first shape, then I'll move on to the third shape. But I do want to encourage you to practice your scales. This is another scale. It's called the Pentatonic Scale. This one's a different pattern, right? What I've learned with this pentatonic scale, you hit the first note. Apparently you can do them anywhere, right? You can do it on the G, and then basically you go to the last finger. So it's first finger, last finger, and then the next string is 1, 3, move down 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. So the top finger, or you know, the first finger, 6th string, right? So this one is 1, 4, and then the last two strings is 1, 4, 1, 4, and the rest in between is 1, 3. So check it out. So that was a pentatonic scale. It's a G pentatonic scale, right? You can go to A, and that's a A pentatonic scale, right? So, excuse me, one more time. All right, I did it right. It's just I misused these fingers. Got messed up right there, but the sound came out all right. So keep practicing. I think that's pretty much it for guitar. I did want to show you something on violin, actually. Here's a cool little tune that I've been practicing on all the instruments, and violin, guitar, piano. The cool thing about this exercise is very simple, and it'll help you learn your some of the notes like G, A, B, A, G, B, A, G, and then you repeat it with the two little dots, right? So we got G, 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 A, G, B, A, G, and then you go to, I don't know if you can see that, let me remove this out of the way, maybe, there we go. Hopefully you can see better. So we have A, E, A, G, F, E, D. Then you do the last, the top part one more time. So I'm going to do that with violin, and I'm less proficient with violin, but I am trying to learn this. All right. Let me just do a little warm up that my daughter was teaching me earlier. So let's see. Here we go. I messed up on that one. Let me do that one again. One more time. All right, not a little better, but not perfect. The last string, which is the E string. Alright, so that's a little warm-up exercise. So I'll play that little tune, but basically this is the G string. G string. Let me do it this way. So we have G string, D string, A string, and E string. And this one doesn't have frets. It's just wherever you press your finger is, on the fingerboard. It'll create different notes, right? So let me do a G scale, and then before I do that, I'm going to do a G scale. The G scale has an F sharp. That's why we have a sharp note right here. So let's do that G scale. So I'm going to start with the G, right? This is a G. Let me see, G. Let me just refresh my memory. G, D, A, E. Good, okay. So the top string is G. Okay, so we'll do this. Okay, let me call out the letters. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. All right. One more time. And if you're learning violin, make sure you have a shoulder pad right here. And that you are able to hold your violin with the side of your chin, and it stays pretty put. You want to sit up straight, and this is going to create the sound towards the audience, right? So let's try that again. Now I'm new, so I'm kind of cheating. I'm turning my eyes that way. I'm beginning violin, right? So I'll get better, but I want to keep practicing, right? So. Alright, that was a G scale. It didn't sound too great. Apparently I need more practice. Let me attempt one more practice, and then I'll just get right to the tune. Still not perfect, a little bit better. So practice, right? All right, so now I'm gonna play this tune. It's basically 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bars, 4 bars again. 5, 6, 7, 8 bars, and then you go to the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th bar, and then 13, 14, 15, 16. That's the bars. I don't have enough room to write it in the way I explained it, but that's the way it's going to sound. All right, so let's try that. Okay, one more time. We'll start again. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I did up to here, and I kind of lost my focus to go to A. This is kind of like a scale because you're going backwards. So it's A, G, F, E, D, right? So it's like backwards. All right. So let me start from the beginning again. 1, 2. Let me start again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, it sounded a little scratchy, but I was able to complete the entire melody. So again, practice, and I actually, if you look at a prior video, I'm actually doing better with violin, right? I learned how to tune the violin as well, how to do a scale, and I'm still working on that, and I'm working on the melody, right? I also learned from my daughter today that when you play pizzicato, you don't want to touch this part. Pizzicato means like plucking, but you don't want to touch this part because it has the rosin. The rosin is the little powder or the little that you scratch onto the hairs of the bow, and that's right here, right? So it doesn't sound scratchy. You don't want to pluck on there when you have notes pizzicato. So you rest this finger here, and you do this, right? But you're gonna have to do that while holding the bow. If there's a song like that, right? You hold the bow and you go. So there was a tune she was showing me. It goes like this. Okay, I don't know it, but it's like 2/4 on the timing. It's gypsy. I think it's called gypsy dance. I'll learn it and I'll show you guys. But I just wanted to show you that when you play pizzicato, you don't touch right here. You show over here. So I'm essentially showing you as I'm learning, right? Let's do that again. Let's do this tune again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not that bad. I'm getting stuck on the same bar or measure, as before. So that means I just gotta keep practicing. So by no means I'm a professional, and this is geared towards other folks like me who want to learn. A lot of times we don't have the money to pay for a music professional to teach us. We at the Cultural Alliance of Long Beach, we pride ourselves in catering to those that don't have the resources to pay for arts education, arts and music education, cultural education, and things like that. So this is what we're offering. Over time we had several volunteer teachers for various, for music and art and things like that. And we're grateful for that, but we are keeping with our mission of, reaching to those that may not have, access to private teachers and things like that. So with that said, we will continue with our art classes via Facebook Live and with our music guided practice, right? Let me start again. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I have to slow down myself. I was doing good. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that's the idea. You keep practicing. I messed up along here. Let me try to get it one time right, and then I'll move into back either to guitar. Piano, I think in the prior videos I talked plenty about piano, about finger placing. Finger placement, correct finger placement, and at least for the C scale, C major scale. G scale, I'm gonna probably talk about that because we do have a sharp for piano. You would use a black key for that, which is in this key, the key of G. So all your Fs are gonna be sharp, right? This F right here, is gonna be sharp, right? So let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not perfect, but I was able to carry the entire tune. So it went like this, one more time like this, and then the part on the bottom, and then back to the part on the top. So there's a music sheet. I think a music sheet. There's it looks like this. I'll probably put it on the on the website or the Facebook page, so you can look at it if you're interested in this tune, or you can Google it, but that's what I was playing. I'm gonna close it off with the melody on guitar, and then also the harmony on guitar. So for the harmony, the top letters, the capital letters, those are chords, right? So we have G, right? We have, so we have G, 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 D7, G, G, D7, D7, G, right? So that emphasizes the chord. If you're learning guitar and you want to play this tune with the chords, that's how that would go. So let me do that real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, folks. So one thing I do want to say is that you know, a lot of times when we're practicing, you know, we're worried about what we're going to sound like. We're worried about what people are going to think. And I had a conversation about this issue with my daughter about like sometimes we're nervous and that's okay. We're like humans, you know, we get nervous. She had to write a speech for her 5th grade culmination. She was chosen to be one of the video people. She was really shy and she emailed her teacher that she declined and she was chosen because they liked her speech. But I had a conversation with her about having self-confidence, and sometimes it's okay to be nervous, but sometimes we're worried about what others think of us, right? And in my class is no exception. There's going to be folks who are more proficient and you're going to have a lot of criticism, right? But this class is not meant for those types of folks. This class is a guided practice. That's what this is, you know. I'm basically just out here sharing what I know, and I'm glad to share or, you know, help you along with something you want to learn that I know. And the more I'm learning, the more I can teach you guys, right? So having said that, you know, leave your comments if you want me to help you with something. Just know that, you know, I'll only be able to teach you within my abilities, and I want to encourage you to keep advancing, you know, your knowledge, just as I'm doing. I'm gonna do a counting and see what happens. Counting out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I messed up on that one. It was 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it, right? The melody is basically the single notes. So the way this is written is ideally you want to have someone on like 2 people with guitars, one doing the harmony, like this part, and someone else doing the melody, which is the single notes. The single notes, right? G, 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 A. Let's see. G, 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 A, B, A, right? So it's G, 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 A, B, A. All right, let me get my my guitar pick. All right, I can use my nails. I trim my nails, and I think I trimmed them too long for the strumming hand. But let me just do my best here. So we got G, 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 A. It's 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. All right, that was it. So let's see. One more time. G, G. So the G is the open G string. That's this G right here. That's the G string, and it's open for three notes, and then you go to pressing down on the 3rd fret of the same string, right? So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like I'm pressing on the wrong note, right? So this is G, G sharp, A, right here. So I was one fret over, all right, guys. So I made a mistake there. So if this is G sharp, and this is A. It sounded weird, and that's when you know you can recognize the sounds, right? So that was A sharp I was doing, right? And it's not an A sharp; it's a regular A. So let me do that again, right? And you're gonna notice how it sounds different. Notice how it sounded more like the melody, because I was on the wrong fret. The open note was good, but when I was pressing one fret over, and that didn't sound proper. In fact, this is what it sounded like. It's not the same, right? Watch this. Right now, this is the right melody. So this is G G G A B A G B A A G. One more time. G G G A B A G B A A G. Right. So I repeated that sequence on the top twice, and then we go to the bottom section, and that would sound like this. That's A 4 times, right? So you hold down the second fret of the G string, that means the third string. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you go to E, which is one string up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're gonna do a D. Now actually that's the last fret, the last two frets, or not frets, so bars. That would be A, G, F, E, D. So it's kind of like a scale backwards, right? So that would be A, you start in A, you go A, G, F sharp, E, E, D. Alright, that's how that would sound like. I messed up a little bit, but that was okay. So let me try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that's the melody, right? And that should be accompanied by the chords. Right? So you need two people to do that. I don't have two people, and that's the way this is written. There's other versions where some folks can actually do things like this. They can use finger picking and strum, like maybe let a note ring, finger picking style. I'll mention that just briefly. So for finger picking, you can have long nails on the strumming hand, which is the right hand, and you can just hit the first note, follow with the last three notes, and bring it back up. So remember the guitar chord progression I was doing with G? Let me see, maybe you can see it a little bit here. We got G, E minor, right? A minor, and D7. So top string, third, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? So switch chords. Okay, so finger picking is just like another style, you use your nails. I was told by a professional that I don't need to do finger picking, but it's someone's opinion, right? It's like anything else. You're welcome to try different styles. Remember, you always, this is just my own thought, right? Like in regards to art, when I paint, I end up creating things that are my own expression, right? So if you feel like you want to use your nails, go ahead and use your nails. If you feel like you want to use the pick, go ahead and use the pick. There's going to be advantages for using either or, but I want to learn both. So that's why I'm learning finger picking. So you strum the first note. this is really pleasing, like this sound. You know, it's actually good for practice because it's this one, the one I mentioned before. This is like you're going to the gym, right? Like building your strength, right? It's not necessarily sounding too pleasing, but this one over here, you're actually using a chord and a sequence of chords that sound pretty well together, and you're making a variation of strumming and then finger picking, right? So, you know, I recommend practice everything you want to learn. Don't let anybody tell you can't do certain things, you know. You do practice your music. You know, it's tough because like we want to learn melodies and songs, and you know, but never compare yourself to anybody. Just do you. Practice, keep practicing. That's the only way you're gonna learn this. We had a lot of folks come to learn in the gallery, and a lot of folks get disappointed because they feel like they're not learning a lot. But we have a high expectancies, right? Like we want to learn really fast, but this is something that you want to practice a lot, and your progress is gonna seem slow at first. As you learn more, it seems to like you start to grasp on things a little better, but you have to keep practicing, right? So as you know, if you saw my practice here, this is just some of the things I've been doing. I also been learning a piano with both hands, so I have a lot to go. I do want to learn as many instruments as I can. I mean, I'm learning guitar, violin, piano, ukulele. What I learned is that the sequence of notes are similar. It's just the type of string, like the notes of the open strings, they change. But as far as like the steps on the frets, they're the same, right? Whole step, half step, right? So so some things apply to other instruments, right? The theory that's pretty much like universal for like, you know, for all the instruments. So that's one advantage. Piano is great because you actually get to do the bass clef and the treble clef. Guitar, you're only limited to mostly the G clef and a little bit of the F clef. You know, bass guitar, obviously bass and things like that. But learn what you want to learn. Don't be discouraged. And leave me on your comments. You know, if you need specific help with something, I can probably like message you, coordinate, and maybe do a guided practice to try to help you with something in particular. As long as it's within my abilities, I'll be glad to help. So I'm just going to play a little bit and then just end the video. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week. Efren Luna here, Cultural Alliance of Long Beach, Art, Music, and Culture.